I'm making this episode because there is a version of me at 15 who really needed to hear it. I grew up figuring things out on my own, not because I was strong, but because I didn't know there was another option. If any of this sounds familiar to you, this is for you. Hello, brave friend, and welcome to the listening place. Today's episode is all about who I was as a teenager and the things that I needed to hear to help me to get through. My goal today is not just to speak to a past version of myself, but to speak to you in the hopes that you see a part of yourself in this situation or situations that I experienced and know that it's not forever. Things do change. Once again, I would like to introduce you to my co-host. So this is Zelda Fitzgerald. She is, again, my 2-year-old Cavapoo. She is my emotional support animal, and she will be here today to support me a great deal. The home that I grew up in during my teenage years was very difficult. I felt unsafe, ashamed, alone. I had a lot of times where I felt like no one would ever be able to understand me or connect to me. I had to become completely self-reliant on only myself because I couldn't share any parts of my home life with anyone. I pretended like everything was wonderful. Everything was great. Yeah, we all have hard times, but mine were always downplayed. I never actually talked about what was really happening. I always felt like I was protecting the things that were happening at home because I was too embarrassed. I was embarrassed of my home because we didn't have a lot. The environment was difficult to be in. And because of this, I really lacked being able to connect to someone, to anyone. I never had sleepovers. I never had friends over. And there was always a part of myself that felt locked away from everybody else. The performance of having to try and keep it all together, to show everyone this differing version of myself, this version that I wanted other people to see, was exhausting. It was hard. I was always putting on a show. Hiding what's at home, I now know, is a survival skill. I was trying to essentially cover up the things that I found to be too hard. It was an escape from my reality to make things up or to not tell people about what was really happening. Hiding what's going on at home is completely natural. You want to protect yourself, and you don't want other people to know what's really going on. Unfortunately, in doing so, you put a wall up to other people. And that only perpetuates difficulty that you may be experiencing. I put that wall up. I didn't let anyone see the real me or the real place that I came from. I spent so much energy trying desperately to not show what was really happening in my life. And because I did that, I suffered. I didn't realize until much later that trying to make it seem like things were perfect was really causing my loneliness. You don't have to feel that way. It's okay to let someone in. I never expected help to come. I knew that I had to help myself, but I didn't know how. And at that point in time, I think I just internalized that what I wanted was pointless, or what I was trying to accomplish didn't matter. I felt like I wasn't worth helping, and that no one cared about me. That time of my life was really about how I saw my worth, because I didn't feel like I deserved love or care. I maintained that for a lot of years after my teenagehood. I want you to know that it doesn't define who you are or what you will accomplish. The chaos and the mess of home was hard, and it was hard to figure out when things are happening. The unpredictability of it all was extremely difficult. I always had my guard up. I never knew what was coming. And I always felt like a part of me deserved it. But I now know that I didn't deserve it. And neither do you. If you grew up in a home where things were chaotic or hard, understand that was your circumstance, not your worth. Those are two completely different things. Circumstances do not define us. Our worth does. When I was a teenager, I didn't truly understand what healthy love looked like. I didn't get very much of it at home. And I always accepted the love that I thought I deserved, the love that was predictable, the love that I knew, the love that was painful. This came in forms of friendships. It came in forms of romantic relationships. It came in the form of the way I allowed myself to be treated at home. I maintained a lot of these relationships because I felt wanted, even if it was painful, even if it was unpredictable, even if it was hard, because that's all I knew. This wasn't a character flaw for me. And it's certainly not a character flaw for you. When home doesn't teach you safe love, you look for it in different ways. If you don't have a good model for what safe love looks like, you will always go for the ones that are predictable, the ones that you recognize. Recognizing that pattern is the first step in breaking that pattern. I used to wonder why I kept ending up in unhealthy relationships over and over again. And now I realize why. The honest answer is, I didn't know what love felt like unless it was painful. And that's hard for me to say right now, because I look back on my 15-year-old self and I see all of the horrible things that she went through, all of the horrible things that she accepted, all the terrible treatment as love. I want you to know that it wasn't stupidity on my part. It most certainly is not yours. It's just all that you've been shown so far. As a teenager, I accepted the love that I thought I deserved. That's completely normal. It's something that all humans do. I tried constantly to please people, to make others happy, to try my best at all times to ensure that people liked me, because I was desperate to be liked. I was desperate to be loved in the right way. But here's the thing. Something I realize now that I didn't know back then was that some of these people were incapable of loving. And it wasn't their fault. Unfortunately, human beings go through a lot of really, really rough things. And sometimes people do things without even realizing that they're doing it. Just like you may be doing things that you don't realize that you're doing. Just like I did things that I didn't realize I was doing. Trying harder, doing better, shrinking yourself, none of it changes what's happening. Trust me, when you get the right love, you'll know. You'll feel it. It's unlike anything you've ever experienced once you do know what it feels like. And it's out there. And it's out there for you, just like it was out there for me. If you are always trying to get someone to consistently love you, and it's not working, that's not a you thing. That's a them thing. The right people in your life will not require you to audition every single moment of every single day to earn their love. They will love you for who you are. When I was 15, 16, 17, I constantly lived in a state of anxiety. And it had a lot to do with the fact that I was living in an unsafe environment. It had a lot to do with the fact that I was consistently trying to earn love, never knowing if I was doing it right. It was always trying to protect myself. It was always trying to keep others out. I would stay up late at night, just constantly thinking about things, reliving the day, reliving things that I said, trying to think about things that I should have said but didn't. All of that was anxiety. My nervous system was in constant danger. Nothing felt safe. Nothing felt like I had a chance to relax or just be calm. There was always a reason for my body and my mind to be tense, to be worried, sometimes scared. If your nervous system has never felt safe because home was not safe, it becomes, or seems to feel like it becomes, a personality trait. Like it's something that is just who you are, something that you could never change, something that's just you. But that's very, very far from the truth. There are people out there who can help you with anxiety. There are videos, there are books, there are so many resources that can help you to understand why your nervous system is the way that it is and how to help yourself. I spent years trying to stay busy so that I didn't have to deal with my anxiety. Sadly, it followed me for decades and decades. It was a constant state of feeling for me. Once I was able to recognize the anxiety that I was experiencing, I was able to name it, I was able to get help. And there's help out there for you too. It took me years and years to heal. Countless hours of therapy, so many self-help books, so much determination to refuse to give up on myself, because I knew that I deserved love, that I deserved care, that I deserved to have a calm body and mind. It took a lot of hard work. And I wish that someone had told me any of this when I was a teenager, because I think I would have healed a lot sooner than I did. The gap of what I needed versus what I received was very real, but it wasn't permanent. Searching for help and guidance for yourself is not weakness. It's strength. You want to help yourself. It's very brave. And it's one of the most courageous things that a person can do. You don't have to wait until you're an adult to help yourself and to have decades of unresolved issues. You're starting now. It took me a long time. A lot of conversations with myself, a lot of deep thoughts, a lot of 1,000 things running through my mind near constantly. But I didn't give up on myself, and neither should you, because there is life and there is more to what your circumstances are. I grew up feeling unsafe, ashamed, scared, anxious. These were all things that were products of an environment that was not my fault. The lack of love from people who could not love. I felt alone, but I want you to know that I am proof that you can come out on the other side. That's the point of this channel. I want to share ways that you can help yourself so that you can grow up and enjoy your life and love and accept and be a good person. I want you to understand that a hard beginning is not a hard forever. Some people with the hardest beginnings are some of the most self-aware, kind, empathetic people. And even some of those people become guides to others to help them. Your story isn't finished yet. I am sitting here as proof that hard beginnings can change, that you can make good things out of the bad. I made this video for a version of myself at 15, but I also made it for you. And I really hope that at least one thing today helped you and help you to feel seen, because you are. I see you. In the comments below, please tell me which one of these that you needed to hear. Thank you for joining me today at the listening place. Remember who you are, remember what you stand for, and return with honor.